Hi, good morning. I hope you're doing okay during this month of August, the fifth month of the pandemic that is now lasting so much longer than we had expected. I wanted to talk with you today about the stress and the impact of it because many of my neighbors, many people that I've been talking to have been mentioning it. People are becoming more open about how it's really kind of depressing to be in such a long time of pandemic, and it's totally normal, totally right that this is not really the most upbeat and hopeful situation that we have ever been in. It's very hard to deal with the pandemic. We're oftentimes doing nothing at home, and yet there is so much stress that comes at it um, due to this pandemic. Earlier this year, I had the chance to talk with Jack Teeps and Ron Casey, um, members of our parish, but also experienced psychologists, and they share their insights with me. Jack also with our staff to offer some hope and strength because the particular impact of stress affects us on many levels, physically, emotionally, cognitively, behaviorally. It has an impact, and therefore we sometimes are surprised on how the overall impact of this stress is arresting us in our daily interactions, in our emotional well-being. So they were explaining that this type of stress of something like a pandemic can cause problems, therefore, on those levels: physical conditions, brain changes, loss of productivity, loss of taste for life, um, mental health and issues that come up, and substance abuse, relational stress. It's a chain of reactions that surprises us at times, and we don't always know what to do with it. And so, I, based on these conversations and these insights that were given, um, that it's very important that we become explicit about this, that we start talking about it, that we um, start building resilience together. It's something that we can do ourselves, um, but we can also do this together. Resilience is the successful adaptation despite adversity. And adversity is definitely coming our way these days. So, how to adapt to it is how we can feel stronger, more resilient. It's a broader um, adaptation process of responding to this pandemic and the problems that it causes. But it can also be an opportunity for growth. So we can, at the different levels where we receive the stress and where we experience um, pain or frustration, there also we can do some exercises, some ways in to engage to make us stronger. And so by engaging in relationships, community, the wider society, and of course it starts individually. So what can we do? Share your experience. If you don't want to share it during the coffee hour at church, which of course is a little bit of a wider experience, try to find someone where you can individually talk. We have pastoral care at Trinity. We have several people at Trinity who are available to talk. I'll put that in the e-news soon because we want to be present for you to make sure that you have a place where you have an outlet if you haven't found that so far yourself. Um, so share your experience. Then, as mentioned before, um, focus on gratitude and focus on the beauty of the small things. Make sure you have clear routines, engage in poetry, and then explicitly try to see how you're coping with your sense of exhaustion, especially for young parents, coping with work from home and how that can um, disturb our daily balance. And then be deliberate if there is grief or loss, and it inevitably can be the case because of COVID-19. Um, make sure you deliberately take care of yourself, take care of that experience of grief that is not a little thing to deal with. So, building resilience and coping with stress is something we can do together, and we will start praying together about this. We will also start talking about this and tackle this as a community, because common awareness about the impact of the pandemic and the stress that it gives us can really be a way in which we can together build resilience during this pandemic. You are in my prayers. I wish you all the peace in your heart, and we will build the strength that we need in order to get through this.